Listen, listen. It is not whether you are Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Republican, or Democrat. It's if you are ready to fight for justice for all, no matter what label you are under. Listen, listen. The question is not whether can you die for me, the question is whether can you live for me. If we understand our differences, our similarities will have substance. Listen, listen. The struggle is real. We can and must win. Listen. We can and must win. Listen, listen. It is not whether you are Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Republican, or Democrat. It's if you are ready to fight for justice for all, no matter what label you are under. Listen, listen. The question is not whether can you die for me, the question is whether can you live for me. If we understand our differences, our similarities will have substance. Listen, listen. The struggle is real. We can and must win. Listen. We can and must win. Listen, listen. It is not whether you are Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Republican, or Democrat. It's if you are ready to fight for justice for all, no matter what label you are under. Listen, listen. The question is not whether can you die for me, the question is whether can you live for me. If we understand our differences, our similarities will have substance. Listen, listen. The struggle is real. We can and must win. Listen. We can and must win. Listen, listen. It is not whether you are Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Republican, or Democrat. It's if you are ready to fight for justice for all, no matter what label you are under. Listen, listen. The question is not whether can you die for me, the question is whether can you live for me. If we understand our differences, our similarities will have substance. Listen, listen. The struggle is real. We can and must win. Listen, listen, listen. It is not whether you are Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Republican, or Democrat. It's if you are ready to fight for justice for all, no matter what label you are under. Listen, listen. The question is not whether can you die for me. The question is whether can you live for me. If we understand our differences, our similarities will have substance. Listen, listen. The struggle is real. We can and must win. Listen. We can and must win. Listen, listen. It is not whether you are Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Republican, or Democrat. It's if you are ready to fight for justice for all, no matter what label you are under. Listen, listen. The question is not whether can you die for me. The question is whether can you live for me. If we understand our differences, our similarities will have substance. Listen, listen. The struggle is real. We can and must win. Listen. We can and must win. Okay, it's that time. It's that time. We're running just a little late. Dang, we're running a whole lot late. You know what? Whew, man. You know what? And to be honest, that, because when blame is blame, you got to blame somebody, so I want to, stand up and be the man. It's April's fault. So, we got to say that's my director, and I'm talking to her. We just got to do a little work. But no, I just got to say, welcome to everybody. That's right. That's what time it is. You know, real conversations with a KO. But the key is we want to give people time. Call your friends, call your relatives, and remember, call those friends and relatives that you've been arguing with for the last 5 years and don't know why, and tell them this is time to make up because now it's time for some real conversation because that's what we need to have, some real conversation. And we're going to have a fun show tonight. This is going to be a real fun show tonight, nothing real serious, just having some fun. But remember, it's about real conversation. So whatever you hear here, whatever you hear, remember one thing, boy, sometimes we laugh to keep from crying. Sometimes we just have some fun because we need to have fun. The climate right now, man, you got wars going on, you got babies dying, you got people hungry in the street, and I want to say that because I want to get just real serious with you just one time. And listen, I'm going to share this. I really want to share this because, this is the climate that we're in. And I'm going to repeat this story before we end tonight because I'm telling you, this past weekend, my heart was broken. My heart was literally broken. I mean, I went into like a slump because you know what? Outside of Creative Visions, there was a lady, an elder lady. Now understand this elder lady, she's somebody's grandmother. I'm sure it was somebody's mother, but elder lady, homeless, she had all her bags and everything that was there. And while she had all her bags and everything that was there, and I looked, and so we got her some food to eat and everything else. And she was outside, and then she broke down and started crying. She started crying because, she looked up and did not understand when I say senior, this is a senior citizen. And she was homeless. Her hands were dirty and just, she's out there trying to survive. And what broke my heart, she looked up and she said, I'm hurting. And she was hurting because she had been raped. Right? She had been raped. Now, listen to me. That's how bad it is out here. Understand what I'm saying to you, that the climate out here is not good for everybody. Some people out here suffering, but when she did that, first thing that came to my mind, that had to be a sick individual to do that. That had to be a really sick individual to do that to this lady. But I also realized that we have sick individuals out here. We have individuals suffering from mental health. That's why we have real conversations with the Kale. Because it's time that we talk about these issues that plague our community. The time we talk about some solutions on how to get it done. We had several shootings take place this past week, and we're gonna have a time to talk with Tim, who's sitting next to me, about things that are happening in the community and the young people he's dealing with. But we have to listen. We got to quit shooting each other. We got to quit, bringing the illness in our own community. We got to start providing the resources. That's what time it is. That's why we have real conversations. That's why we need to talk with each other at the dinner table. That's why we need to put away the telephone some nights and the video games and talk to our babies. Real conversation. That's what that's about. I'm telling you, it broke my heart. It took me time to pull myself together. And today, I was thinking about it. And the shooting the other morning, a 15-year-old gets shot in the leg. And I don't know, because I haven't got briefed by Tim yet to find everything that went on. But we're going to talk about that. But 15 years old, come on. See, when I was 15 and 16 years old, we weren't talking about shooting each other. We were talking about revolution. We were talking about change. We were talking about coming together. That's when you had individuals that were singing those songs about freedom, wake up everybody, you got something to say. That's when we were doing it, boy. When we had Curtis Mayfield talking about people who are darker than blue, we were coming together. That's what it's all about. In fact, I was so moved this morning, those of you that are my friends, on my phone, and I know all of you aren't, and some of you will never be. But the whole key, you got to understand that, without a doubt, I posted this morning by, one of the African leaders that said, one thing we have to do is love each other. We have to love each other a lot more than what we do. And those that, when I said some of you won't, don't be offended. Please don't be offended, because my belief. I follow what Dr. King said. He said, "Thank God, God told me I had to love everybody, because loving everybody is easy. But He sure did tell me I didn't have to like everybody." So and that's okay. That's okay, because that's being honest. I can love you, but that doesn't mean I like you or like what you're doing. I don't like the cat that raped that woman. I don't like him. I don't like the dope dealer in the community. I don't like them. I don't like individuals who are killing themselves. No. But that doesn't mean I won't help. But that don't mean I got to like you. I don't like if you're misusing children. I don't like if you're misusing women. I don't like if men are being misused. I don't like any of that. So I don't have to like that. So please let me be clear. So don't get offended. Don't get offended. But anyway, let's move on to, but I had to get that off my chest, because see, if you harbor stuff in, then you internalize it, and that's baggage you keep. And then you end up doing a disservice to you. And the person that you got to do service to first is yourself. You have to learn to love who you are. If you don't love who you are, how you going to love me or anybody else? How you going to love your babies the way they're supposed to? How you gonna love your neighbor like you're supposed to? Because you got to learn to love who you are first, and you got to like you. This sometimes I get home at night and I look in the mirror and I said I love you, and then I kiss the mirror and I say I like you too. Right? See, I don't dislike me anymore. I did it one time, and that'll be a whole other show. Cause I did it one time just like me. Cause I wasn't that cat that sat down the night my son was killed, and the next day, forgave the young man who shot him. I wasn't him anymore. I had lost him. I wasn't the guy that was used to just saying what's on his mind and being courteous to people that, I put on a mask just to survive. I didn't like that. But you know what? I'm back. I like me now. And I like what I represent. I like who I am. Shoot, I'm 74 years old and look as young as my guest today. Look at him. Only thing they got on me is height. All right, they taller than me today, except for my brother Tim. Except for my brother Tim. Brother Tim. But anyway, welcome again. I hope you got your friends on the line. I hope you're getting everything together. Sitting right next to me on my right, which will probably be your left. And I got my brother, my ace. A brother and I were growing together. We're here. He's at Creative Visions. And we're learning each other. Because it's not every day that Tim and I liked each other. Ain't that right? That's right. See, I just wanted to get it out of him. I always liked him.
No.
See, I knew I baited. I knew I'd get him. Langston, I knew I'd get him one day. See, I knew I'd get him one day. Hey, brother. Let me tell you, that's old school. See, that's old school. I knew I'd get him one day, but I loved him.
Hey, that's like the first 48.
Yes. See, you gonna try to come back. You can't now. See, it's too late. But anyway, Tim is next here, and Tim's gonna introduce our guest because we have a challenge that's going on that y'all don't want to miss August 23rd. And Tim, why don't you introduce yourself and then introduce the guest?
All right. Well, my name is Tim McCoy. I'm the director of the Violence Intervention Program here at Creative Visions. That's geared towards addressing the gun violence in the Evelyn K. Davis as well as the Drake neighborhood, starting with the highest at risk. And to my immediate right, I have Isaac. Isaac is an entrepreneur, musician, community activist. And then I have my brother over here. That's Peter Note. And he actually is really, really instrumental in Bricks legacy. For anybody that's up in the Bricks, anybody up in Oak Ridge, you should know who this is for sure. We have Score for Your that he was instrumental in and so much more. I'm sure that throughout this they'll be able to further introduce themselves. But these are my brothers, and we have a really, really, really exciting announcement, and I'm not going to be premature on that, though.
Okay, let's go going. First I want y'all I want to know. I don't feel inadequate. I don't care how tall y'all are. Okay, I want to know. It's okay. No,
we hope you don't. We hope you don't. Find confidence in yourself.
All right, brother. All right. One of the things that understand that these are young brothers, that are coming not only to do this project that we're going to be talking about, but want to get back to the community. These brothers work in the community, and that's what we need. We need young brothers to work in the community because, you know what, no matter how much, and I'm not taking nothing away from women, from mothers, from aunts, from grandmothers, but it takes men to raise men. It takes men to be able to impart that, In fact, to be honest with you, my philosophy is that a man shouldn't even deal with a child till they're about 7 years old. They should give him love and everything, but let the mother impart what she has into the child, and then let the man take and be able to deal. Let the man take and start giving that man what needs to be done and teaching him how to be a man. Because some of us, honestly, some of us grow up and forget. We look for manhood in Walmart, or Quick Trip. or at the Shields, or because we think the shoes make you, we think the clothes make you, or the bling. None of that makes you a man. What's that makes you what that makes you is a puppet of being a consumer of somebody in France that's trying to design something to tell you what it takes to be a man, and all they do is take our money. But let's talk. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. That's what we need to do.
Uh, my name's Isaac. I go by Ike. In the community, I do things like giveaways. I've helped feed the homeless on my own. I've hosted events where it's just open to the children to come get free food. Um, I try to do. I do music as well. I do open performances. I travel. I do music videos. I'm putting together my own entertainment group. I have my own LLC in which I conduct business through. I've also worked in a couple. I've also worked with a couple basketball based organizations, and I've helped with those. So that's why it's big for me to help with this upcoming event. And like I said, we won't talk about it prematurely, but I'll let my brother introduce himself as well.
My name is Peter. I run a nonprofit organization called Bricks Legacy, which started 2 years ago. It's a basketball team. It's a travel AAU team. Just started off as a clinic where I was just teaching younger kids in my neighborhood. Grew into something bigger, not just for kids in my neighborhood, but the urban kids that are local around. Keeping them out the streets. Most of them, if it wasn't for that, they'll be in jail and other parts. I got my brother Isaac with me. He also came in, coached with me as we went to Kansas, just traveling to different states and just making it happen. So we're here to talk about real things and how we can help the community. So, yeah.
Let's talk about that before we get into the big announcement. What was the motivation? What was the motivation? Because, you have people right now out there that have given up on young people, have given up on young adults, because they're listening to media, the social media, television, everything else. What was your motivation so you start your nonprofit and serve the community?
I say everything, like you just said earlier, everything starts with self. The love of self. Like, I can't love my brother until I love myself. And loving yourself is like wanting to see the best for yourself. And as soon as you want to see the best for yourself, it's like you love. There's a Bible verse that says, "Love yourself as you love your neighbor," or love your love your neighbor as you love yourself. So it's just like I had little brothers and I started with them, and I was like, I don't want my brothers to grow up to be in jails, and because that's the neighborhood that we live in. So, what started at a small seed with a small group of people, like we even have the first picture, it was like just 6 of them, grew into like 50. And from then on, it was just like a spread of fire. It spread throughout the city. Everybody started talking about it, and then we just realized there's power. Like, when you're really doing good, and you're really sowing seed that is really good. It's true that you reap a good harvest. So I mean, we seen that firsthand, and we're like, yo, this actually came true. It just started as a dream, and so yeah.
Okay. As for me, my drive for community empowerment is more so personalized, because I grew up in a community that wasn't so fond of the young men that was in the neighborhood. It's like the older cats that were out there that was supposed to be teaching the young men how to be young men, they were trying to teach them how to be the incorrect version of a man. So for me, I grew up with 12 people in a 2-bedroom apartment, and like my grandma didn't speak English. We're not from this country, so for us looking outside, it's like we see what we don't want to become rather than seeing what is interested and what everybody else is doing. So like for me, I grew up with the sense of like, okay, if I can become not what they're becoming, and I can teach other people to want to be better than what they see, then I can be the light for something that's bigger than me. Like even if I don't become something that's the greatest, if I don't become the next Jay-Z or the next Kanye West, I would hope to inspire somebody else to become the next Jay-Z and Kanye West, because without the leadership of somebody who wanted the path, there will never be a path.
Wow. Tim, what about you?
Man, my motivation is kind of selfish. To be honest, once I made the decision that going down the wrong path was not making good sense, I started moving in a path that allowed me to do community service, and then not the kind of community service that I used to do, but it allowed me to actually be able to give back. And believe it or not, that's what kept me on the right path. Was I remember there was one time when I was incarcerated and I was getting booked out, and there was a young individual that came in, and as he was coming in, he says, "Oh, look at Tool Man. Man, that's the person that taught me everything I know about the streets. I'm about to go do this time standing on my head." And I remember thinking, like, that's not what I want to teach the young individuals at all. And I think it was that point in time that I made a conscious decision to start trying to lead people the right way.
Yeah, and Tool Man was your nickname in the
Tool
street.
Man was my nickname in the streets.
Why Tool Man? Why?
Cause for two reasons. One, because even though I was in the streets, I kept a job, so I did construction work. But the main reason was because I was known for carrying tools.
Oh, okay. For a real conversation for you out there that don't know what he's talking about guns.
Yes.
So, let's be clear.
Yes.
So y'all know that. And he doesn't do that now.
No.
I don't want somebody said he was on there talking about carrying guns.
No.
I know some of
Growth.
them
Growth.
Growth. That's what it is. It's growth. What about where you from first of all, Isaac?
I was born in Liberia. I came here when I was 2. And I grew up in Kansas City for about 16, 17 years. Moved to Iowa when I was 17, and I graduated from North High School.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, huh? Are you North High? A polar bear?
Go Polar Bears.
Are you a polar bear?
Yeah, PBN Nation.
Yeah. Oh, that was our producer, trying to chime in. You know how that go.
He's a polar bear.
Yeah, he's a polar bear. He's a polar bear, and you're a polar bear. We won't hold that against you. But anyway, Tech High was,
That was that was before our time.
Yeah.
That was a husky.
Okay, but anyway, so Liberia. Let me real quick for those who need a little history lesson.
Yes, sir.
Liberia is one of the only African countries that offers dual citizenship.
And we're also one of the youngest, we're one of the oldest countries to have a connection with America. So that's where they actually shipped all slaves who were non-educated or didn't want to be part of the system. They were sent back to Africa, and they were sent to the west coast of Liberia.
Wow.
Yeah.
See? Yeah, I didn't know that. So, brother, where you from now?
I am from South Sudan,
Oh, man.
the land of the tallest, darkest people. I moved over here to the U.S. when I was 5 years old. I was born in refugee camp of Ethiopia. My parents fled over there because of war, so I never got to see South Sudan. Came over here when I was 5. Had a 2-parent household, so that helped out a lot. If you see like the reason why I'm not in jail or a lot of things, I say 2 parents household really plays a big part. I went to when we moved to over here, Des Moines, Iowa. I was in 2nd, 3rd grade around that time. Graduated from Roosevelt High School, and I live in Oak Ridge.
Okay, yeah. So we got Roosevelt, North. Where you from, Tim?
So Hoover.
Hoover. We really got to excuse some of these people. Tim knows better, but y'all just by chance have to go to the schools because your parents said, we won't hold that against you. But, So, Tim just knows better. That's all right, Tim. But anyway, but no, seriously though, I think it's interesting, that you have come from across the water, and I love the way you said South Sudan. You got all Barry White on it. But anyway, but the proudness, the history and the energy, because a lot of times, we tell people that people from Iowa, they don't use the resources that Iowa has. But someone comes from outside of Iowa, and then they tap into all the resources that are here, to be able to benefit themselves. But then the people from Iowa then get mad at those who come from other places because you tapped into resources. Have you found that at all? Have you ran into that?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, like it's a normal part of the day, like where there's, I say, like, there's a production level of work where it's like, okay, what's the next step for us to actually help, like the people that is around us, the community, and there's a system where we're sitting around and talking about like how we've been done wrong, and then it stays at that. It's like, okay, what's the next steps to it? So it's just like there's like a victim mentality towards it, and then there's like a people that like rise and elevate above there, and it's not even I don't think it's a cultural issue. I think it's more like it's a mindset issue, and I think like, and then the majority of the mentality is grouped up in like a certain area. So like, if there's people that speaking about a certain thing, I think that usually like grows like a wildfire more than like, oh, what we gonna do? Yeah, like, because we can talk about the problem, and then when it comes down to solutions, it's like, oh, everybody's crickets, and it's just like, okay, what we gonna do about it? Like, you telling me like, oh, how your baby mama's doing this, and then I'm like, all right, what we gonna do? Like, what's the solution? Nobody never talks about the solution. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Or even if you present the solution is not what they want. They you can be like, okay, oh, I didn't grow up with my mom and dad, so I feel like my life was hard. I started off hard, and I'm like, okay, I didn't have a mom and dad either. I came from overseas, and what's your excuse? And it's always, oh, well, you don't understand my pain. Like, I don't have to feel exactly how you feel to understand where you're coming from. I don't have to go through every single step that you went through to understand where you're coming from. I can feel the same exact pain from a different experience. I don't have to feel how you feel.
We as human beings, I think we have the ability to empathize. To put our shoes in your position, even though we haven't went through it. Like, we can talk about slavery. Like, I'm pretty sure none of us went through slavery, but we can empathize and feel the pain and the sorrow through our soul. I think that's what makes us spiritual human beings.
But then whenever you bring in that, okay, we've gotten to the problem, we understand that you're in pain, let's move on. You'll never get that next step. You always hear everybody feel like, okay, I need to go to the therapist. After you go visit the therapist gives you homework, don't they?
Right.
Now when you leave the therapist and you don't do the homework and you go back to the therapist, you say you and that therapist have that same conversation again. Like, oh man, this person did me wrong. I can't believe it. And they're like, you know what? Just go home, write down how you feel, and then burn that paper up. That person will go home, look at the notebook. I'm get to it later.
And it's never get to it.
And never get to it. And then is the consistency of nothing being done. It's like if you're constantly doing nothing is going to change. But if you're constantly trying to make a difference will happen.
Okay. Yeah, I'm telling y'all right now, call your friends. Our show, this show takes all kinds of twists and turns, and we never know what's going to come out.
I know somebody getting hit right now. Like, you talking about me.
That, though.
So right now, go call your friends and tell them, we got 3 young African and African American male here, and here's the thing, that's really awesome to me is that we're all talking the same language, and I'm not talking about English the first. Shut up. I'm talking about the same emotional, physical pain, the first emotional, physical language. I'm talking about coming from the heart. I mean, I'm so happy. I didn't know what the show was going to end up being. I didn't. But the key is I'm happy because you're helping. Old soldier, man. To see hope because I deal with individuals in my generation that talk about, oh, the generation is lost. Whoa, what do they call them? The
YNs.
the YN.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the YN.
Yeah,
The WOW.
Hey,
YNs.
unfortunately, we are part of that age group.
Is that young Negroes?
Yeah. So it's
Without the grow.
okay. So
No growth.
all right. So
Never grow.
to address
Or is it the other word?
okay, to address that statement, I feel like that narrative came from the wrong colored group of people.
From white folk?
Exactly.
Okay.
So-
I just want to be clear.
Exactly. Let's
Okay.
keep it real.
I
I
just
feel
wanna
as
play-
if
yeah.
I feel as if because
Yeah.
as we all sit here, right? We all know brothers that are in trouble. We all know brothers that are trouble. We all know brothers, but we will never look at another brother and categorize him as a YN. Because why? We don't know that guy's struggle. We don't know his story. We like this guy could be this guy. Not promoting anything. This guy could be selling drugs because his mom and dad have no means of working. But they'll look at you like he's just a drug dealer.
Okay.
They don't understand that you're providing for everybody in your household. You can't get a job because you're underage. You can't go to school because your parents don't have nothing to send you to school with. You can't go to school with holes in your shirt. They're gonna send you back home, don't they? Anybody who if you don't
you'll
show
go back home because they'll bully you,
Exactly.
tease you, and laugh you out.
one way or another, you're not
Yeah.
gonna want to
Yeah,
go to school.
exactly.
So I feel like the narrative, like with all of us who are here, we've seen people who are like, okay, that brother's doing that because he has a reason to. But from the outside view, it's like he's a drug dealer. They categorize us, and I feel like the YN is another category for. It's like, okay, we're not even gonna attempt to save this brother. Put him with the rest of the ones. He's a YN. Put him over there. We're gonna deal with the ones that we can save. Just leave him. That's a YN. Those are YN. These guys are not trustable. These guys are this kind of person. You can look at somebody like nowadays. You can look at somebody and somebody do something dumb. They're like, that's a YN. Why?
So that's what they say now. See, I just learned that. I didn't know that. Tim, you didn't?
And it's a means of separation to me. Because if you're the YN, then who's the ON? Right? And
Who's the what in?
the ON. I'm gonna say the old nigga. Okay?
Okay, so okay. Let me get clear, cause I'm not an ON. Let me be clear.
Let me eliminate myself right now.
But the point is, and what's happening? April's trying to reel us in, but we're gonna roll with this one. All right, we're gonna roll with this one, cause you know what? This is the first time I heard YN, ON. I didn't even know they said that. And Tim, you never told me.
All right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do believe that that's a means of separation because what I'm noticing, right, is this separation between young and old, or young and older. I'm gonna say young and older, right? There was once upon a time when there was a structure when the young people had OGs to kind of guide them through the game.
Okay.
That's been eliminated now.
The OG.
The OGs. The OGs.
So you put people like me out the pasture? What?
The OGs,
Yeah,
the
OGs,
older guys.
is that-
They made it so that it's
Yeah.
it's not desirable for
OG,
the younger
okay.
crowd to listen to us.
But the YN don't mean
Yeah, no,
it don't mean Negro either.
no, absolutely it doesn't.
It's young.
But like
April's back there praying I don't say nigga. You know that? She's praying. She's praying. She's back there praying. She is literally back there praying. She's a prayerful person.
Sweating hard too, though.
Yeah, but
I mean, I think if we use it, it's not it's because it's.
No,
we're
it's
using
still offensive. But
Is it?
to me,
Okay.
But I'm just saying, this is real conversation.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I'm learning something new. And y'all who are listening, you should be learning something new. And don't get offended, because some of you sit at home right now, and
Listen.
walk in your house, and you're out there and you're out in the work world and you're sitting there talking about, yes, okay. and then you get home and get to calling each other all kinds of names.
YN.
You know,
This is real life
YN,
event.
worse than that. But anyway, I just want to be clear because I have not heard, seriously, until tonight, that classification.
YN, yo.
And I'm sure some of you out there have not heard this classification. You know, well, we just picked up 3 more people watching. They calling the neighbor now.
Hey, somebody said they praying with April.
Yeah. It says, see, we got a comment that says, I'm praying with April. I told you we we're going to have some fun tonight, boy. It's on a kicking now, boy. Hey, and you YNs, come on. Join us. Hey, call your YN friends, you know, and tell them to come and join us because we talk about you, you know, that type of thing. So we're going to have some fun. But no, this is good. See, this is what we need to be able to do as OGs, be able to listen to the young brothers. Now, if you're not a YN, what are you?
You are, so from my generation, you're either considered a lame.
Okay.
Like, so if you're not outside partying, if you're not fitting the group vibes, like if you're not consistently outside wasting time, you're either a lame or you're somebody who is just not cool. Like, you're not cool. Like,
Okay.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, if it's either you're a YN or you're not cool.
Okay.
That's the category that they're
Wow.
trying to fit in. So like they're like people are erasing the that guy's just a like, you know, they used to be like, oh, that's the fly guy in the neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
There's no more fly guy. It's Nike Techs in their ski masks. That's it. Don't.
Try to mask.
The
That's it.
YNs have replaced the players. Back in the
Yeah.
days,
We
it
had
was cool for the
players.
younger cats to be players.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so I'm messed up now. So the YN is cool.
If you're not wearing a
YN is the
Puchasti mask
Oh,
and have a
YN.
gun, and you not,
You're not.
You're
in
not
it.
a
You're
YN.
not fitting the category.
fitting, bro.
You're not up to date.
You're not up to date.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then you have the old ns.
no,
OGs.
OG.
Yeah,
Yeah,
OGs.
OG. Now somebody said ON.
Or they call you
earlier.
Unk. You Unk them.
OG.
I was being funny.
Oh, he was just being funny. Tim trying to be humorous. Keep your day job.
That-
Okay, now.
sorry.
Here's the thing. I love this brother. I do. But here, okay.
Sorry,
so
April.
Now the thing is, Tim, is that it used to be slang, like you said, fly, hip, all of that.
Yep.
Now you're a YN.
You YN.
Oh, okay. That's what young people call it now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And you're a YN, that means you're feeding the homeless, you're doing different things, or no?
No. That's the opposite.
That's the opposite. That means you're in the
You
street.
unk them. If you doing all that, you're unk them. You're not. Yeah,
There you go.
you're not coming home at 7 a.m.
If you ain't coming
Man.
home at 4 a.m. in the night, you're unk them. If you got to go home, you be like, man, I got work in the morning. They be like, of course, that's unk them. He got to go to work in the morning.
That's Uncle them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I'm listening to the peanut gallery back here. Talking about, they ain't never said nothing to us. Ain't never schooled me. You know, okay, we're going to have a class.
Yeah.
All right, just to bring me up to speed and what's going on. Y'all got me talking about real conversation, and I don't even
Make
know
sure
what
you're
a
drinking
YN
5 days out the week too.
Say what now?
You gotta make sure you're drinking 5 days out the week too.
That you're drinking 5 days
To
out?
be a YN 5 days out the
fit in.
week.
Just to fit in.
Just to get there.
And we ain't talking about orange juice.
Nope.
We ain't talking orange juice.
No, we're talking alcohol and perks.
Straight Hennessy and perks.
Alcohol what?
Perks.
Percocets.
Percocet?
Yes, sir.
So you just gotta be wasted.
You
Yes.
gotta. That's it.
That's it.
Yo,
You gotta be angry in life, no direction, and then just drinking outside, wasting time.
yeah, make sure you don't talk about your future either.
No future.
Don't talk about the future. You know what? This seems like this is by design.
Yeah, it is. That's
This is by design. Go from one end to another. I mean, let's bring it home. The real.
I mean, I could say this. It's like this. Like, we can be mad at YNs all we want, you know, and talk about like how bad they is. But we gotta understand, like, they're a product of what our generation, like us at this age right now, has just pushed down. It's like, because we also, in our little older group, and especially coming from Oak Ridge, it's like they really haven't really showed us no example. It's like there were everybody in the bricks, everybody, like we call Oak Ridge bricks. Everybody in the bricks was gangbanging, like, you know, the people that we're supposed to look up to. So they really didn't pass anything down to us.
No
For like even for me to do what I'm doing, it's like the reason why it was so compelling and the reason why everybody was crying, a lot of people were crying is because they said, right, never has this ever happened in the bricks. You know, because the older heads, the older guys, they wasn't they was selling, they was gang banging, they was repping sets. That's what they were doing. So it wasn't. So it's just like we can be mad at the YNs and the parents can talk bad about the YNs all they want, but you got to understand they're just a product.
They're just learning from.
They're just learning from what they seen, and it's whatever they see. It's like they're just gonna make it better, you know. So it's like whatever we was doing, they just made it cooler. Like,
And then you include the new age music. You include the new age TV. You include the news. You include the inspiration that you get from outside friends. Because I can have a friend in Urbandale and a friend that live in the bricks. That guy in Urbandale is gonna follow what that guy in the bricks does because that's the guy that's cool.
yeah,
He come to school. He's like, "Hey man, you got a Pooh Shiesty, you got Nike Tech fresh every day. He got Air Force Ones. Man, I'm gonna be like that guy." You inspire somebody else to make the wrong decision.
So that becomes basically his role model.
yeah,
That becomes his role model.
yeah,
But you know, here's what's unique. That as I'm sitting here listening, terms have changed.
yeah,
The game's the same.
yeah.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing new under the
You know,
sun.
but even back in my day, what you're talking about was happening, but we identified it as the system trying to keep us manipulated, keep us blind to what's really going on in society, to keep us from growing. You know, and even today, I can, you know, I mean, I hear the conversation, I can see that. Because if you're a YN, you know, or a parent just trying to survive, you know, or some young brothers trying to make a difference, if I can keep you hoodwinked and bamboozled, you know, have you chasing smoke, then I don't have to deal with the fact that I'm, you know, redistricting a whole community. You know, I don't have to worry about you worried about a genocide, you know, in Gaza. I don't have to worry about what's going on in Sudan and what's going on in Liberia and Libya and different places. Because if I can keep you focused, you know, and then keep you so focused on just trying to do one thing, just trying to survive and make it and let life live in you instead of you living life, then man, I can just run amok. You know, I can just do anything I want to do. You know, I can take society, I can have people talking crazy about women. I can have them talking about you. I can have you two, I can get you so you're mad at me as being African American and Tim, you know, and I can get Tim and I mad at y'all for being African, because the first thing I would say, especially to the Latinos and the Africans coming in, is that, you know, you're stealing our jobs. You know, and how crazy that I ain't never seen a black person try to steal a job. We stole some other things, but never tried to steal a job. Shoot. But you know, but the whole thing is, you know, the bottom line is, you know, but we can keep pitting us against one another. And then we can pit each other against white people. You know, black people against white people. You know, then we can have Bosnians mad at so-and-so. Then we can have Christians mad at Muslims. Then we have, you know, the Jehovah's Witness. Everybody pick on Jehovah's Witness. But, you know, you have everybody picked on and everything else, because that takes your conscious mind and puts it to sleep. Then you don't try to build a community like you brothers are doing. We don't reach out to build. Because, you know, brother, I like you said, and you know, that you and I can talk about that, but I still don't like the dope dealer, you know. But you know, the thing is, I understand why. And I think it's up to us to offer some resources so the individual doesn't have to. But I think we need to do that out of love, but not like him or her. Okay? But, you know, I understand what you're saying. I just want to be clear. But, you know, the thing is, okay, so you said something earlier, you know, about, you know, we say the problem, we complain about the problem. What are some of the solutions? You know, give us some solutions. You're the young brothers, you know, give us, what are some of the solutions? What would you say to people, you know, and we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back. I've enjoyed this. I have enjoyed this. We may not be on next week, but I enjoy.
It's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
Right
I enjoy. We may have to take a short break, especially when the police chief watches this. So we may have to take a short break. But the point is, that's what it's about. It's about real conversation, real conversations with a KO. And today, there's been some real conversation, And when we're gonna take a break, we're gonna show about the men's group. And then we got 10 minutes left to go, and then, oh, April, put the holy water down. Okay. And so we'll be all right. We'll be right back. As we go to our producer, Langston's going to just take a short break, and we're going to start going into our last 10 minutes. See, Langston got so involved in the show, he forgot to get ready. Look at it. See, he didn't get us ready. So we're still alive. You lucky you ain't one of them YNs, brother. You one of them good brothers, man. You one of them brothers. Yeah, what do you call him? Uncle. Yeah, Uncle. Is that what
I've been unking them all my life.
you been uncle all your life?
Yeah, no. One thing that I did was I said,
It is not whether you are Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Republican, or Democrat. It's if you are ready to fight for justice for all, no matter what label you are under. Listen. The question is not whether can you die for me. The question is whether can you live for me. If we understand our differences, our similarities will have substance. Listen. The struggle is real. We can and must win. Listen. We can and must win. Listen. It is not whether you are Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Republican, or Democrat. It's if you are ready to fight for justice for all, no matter what label you are under. Listen. The question is not whether can you die for me. The question is whether can you live for me. If we understand our differences, our similarities will have substance. Listen. The struggle is real. We can and must win. Listen. We can and must win. Listen. It is not whether you are Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Republican, or Democrat. It's if you are ready to fight for justice for all, no matter what label you are under. Listen. The question is not whether can you die for me. The question is whether can you live for me. If we understand our differences, our similarities will have substance. Listen.
Okay, and we're back. We're back with Real Conversation with the KO. This gave you a chance to call some of your friends. We had some comments. They said, hey, this needs to go on TikTok. We're gonna have a part 2 of this one. This is just, man, this is all right, man. I mean, when you have individuals speak their minds, you have Brother Pete, right?
Yup.
Brother Pete, Brother Isaac, Brother Tim. You got some individuals that aren't scared, that are not scared, that have some real conversation, and that's what we need. Let me ask, since we ventured this way, before we get into the announcement and what we're doing, on the project coming up, what about fathers? What about young people that, and those are young people trying to be fathers? Y'all got any kids?
I'm expecting twins in December.
Twins?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
First time.
First time?
Yes, sir.
Is that the way to let us know these are your only children?
Oh no,
These aren't your only children?
I'm going for 8. My mom and dad had 12 kids.
Your mom and dad had 12? And you trying to break their record?
Yes, sir.
All right.
No, I ain't trying to break their record. They got more than enough grandkids.
You got more than enough. All right, so you got 8 children.
No, I want 8.
Oh, you want 8? I thought you were saying you had 8. Okay, you got 2 on the way.
Yes, sir.
That's beautiful, man.
Thank you.
Pete, what about?
I have no kids right now.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, I got a father and mother household, so yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Tim?
And then go ahead.
Man, I have about 6 biologicals and about 12 honorary children. I mean, that's the truth. That's not as true.
No. It's a real conversation. 6 biological,
Yes,
12 honorary.
that's correct.
Tim, I'm gonna leave you alone.
Hey.
Cause I was all right till you said honorary.
Well, see,
What's that mean? What does honorary mean?
when you've had past relationships where you were instrumental and you were a father figure in kids' lives, just because you're not with their mother anymore doesn't mean that you don't still play that fatherly role.
Beautiful.
So-
Beautiful.
Amen.
When I say
Beautiful.
honorary kids, those are the
Man.
kids that I'm talking about. And I have a fair share of those who I still communicate with. They still ask me for advice.
Beautiful.
They still ask me for money. But
Okay.
no, and honorary, and it's an honorable thing. That's why I say honorary kids.
But no, I appreciate that. In fact, when I go home tonight, I'm gonna have a root beer in celebration with you. But that what that means though. I mean, even what Isaac was saying and what Pete Holt, that means y'all ain't trying to be sperm donors.
No.
Yeah, y'all trying to be real men, fathers to take care of your family, and that's what you do. And I know Tim does. I know Tim does without a doubt. Because I've called Tim and needed him into work, and he was in St. Louis, with his family, having a ball. Tell him I'm riding on the helicopter, But he spends time with his family. I say it jokingly, but I watch you spend time with your family. I watch you deal with your children here, and I watch you deal with your grandchildren. I mean, these are the kind of fathers, we need to have. We can't keep putting it on the mothers. We can't keep putting on women and letting women just be single mothers out here doing it. And so Isaac, tell us, so do you know, we got 2 girls coming, a boy and girl, or are we just waiting?
I actually find out this Saturday at the gender reveal.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want to invite you guys
Okay.
to all come. It's basketball theme. Please note that. To go to your question, with the father's thing, I feel like the father's thing is huge for me because even though I didn't get to grow up with my father made sure his presence was felt. Like I said, I left Africa when I was 2, so you can imagine I didn't really get to know them, and you don't technically get a phone until you get some money where I'm from. Like,
Okay.
unless you can buy your phone, you want to call somebody, you're going to get your own phone.
Okay.
My grandmother, she didn't have very much money, and there was too many of us. So, but my father made sure his presence was known. He called as many times as he could. He gave me advice as much as he could. Like till now, he still calls me. He gives me advice on how to be a father. I mean, technically, I don't really need advice because I've been raising other people's kids since I was 12. So it's a little much, but sometimes he's overbearing. He's like, man, look, you were a lot to deal with, so your kids are gonna be a lot to deal with. So, but I feel like the father in a lot of homes is missing, and that's the reason why a lot of things are going wrong in our communities, because in communities that where you see the mother and the father, you don't see as many of the same issues. But that's just my take on it.
That's a good take. And then you contribute the mother and father in your home.
Yeah.
Right, V?
Yeah.
To,
So it's just like I keep saying, like, it's like I grew up, rooted a little bit more than the other kids, just because I had a mother and father at home. I mean, we haven't grew up like super, like, in a good stability, like the best stability. But besides that, it's like, I appreciate the fact that they are there. We make ends meet. But yeah, and even just the things they rooted in me, like the belief system, just carrying yourself with integrity, being the best person that you can. No man is without sin. So I ain't perfect, but it's just like having that foundation at home. It makes you sound minded, and just going out there in a world where there's a lot of influence. I say that plays a big part. Having a mother and father at home, they both roles play different functions, but it's all for the building of the house. So,
but what's interesting that all three of you are giving back to the community.
mm-hmm.
That's what's really interesting. That I'm getting choked up, man. I'm getting emotional. Oh, it's man. I usually don't get choked up on a show, man. But it's that, man, seeing you brothers going through your life and then giving back to the community, young brothers, is so inspirational. No matter what anybody takes on what was said earlier or how people want to turn it negative, you brothers are standing up, actually being men and being men of color. And you're not ashamed to say that. You're not ashamed to be out front, even through all the trials and tribulations. Brother, I couldn't imagine growing up in a family of 12. I live by myself and make sure I got 3 bathrooms. So I couldn't imagine, brother, seriously, coming from, Sudan and coming here and making a way, Tim going through what you go through, what you went through, and then giving back, even with your brother being assassinated, and shot 16 times, it's hard, for even our listeners. I'm telling you, to imagine that they're hearing these young men out here, and this is not a church, even though we have a mission, this isn't, and y'all didn't Bible thump and you didn't condemn other individuals and you didn't condemn other young people. Don't have to.
We don't need to.
And
We
we
already have
all
enough people here that does it for us. If you look around, you'll see. Not to cut you off, brother, but if you look around, like so like I said, I grew up with 12 people. Our house was kind of known as the house of kids that you didn't want at your house. Like, we didn't have enough clothes, so you didn't want that kid at your house. That kid's clothes stink. So, like, for me, I grew into the role of wanting to give back to the community because I grew up seeing what I did not want to become. Whenever you go to your friend's house and your friend's mom's like, no, I don't want my kid to come outside and play with you. I don't want to be that. I don't want anybody else's kid to feel that because I felt it. I grew up in it. When I didn't have shoes, I wore sandals to school, and they sent me back home with my sandals, and I went right back to school with them sandals on because I didn't have no shoes. What am I gonna do? Not go to school?
Right.
Right. So whenever you go through that, you don't need a reason to not condemn people because you've been condemned. You know the feeling of having that having that experience. You don't never let it go. Like, I'm pretty sure all of us here have walked into a building that we know we're not qualified to be in, but we still walked in that building with our heads high, shoulders up, and we still completed what we came in there to do because we know what it like. Regardless of if not, they're like, man, he don't belong here. Well, I'm gonna go do what I came here to do though. If I belong here or not, I'm here to do something.
Right.
You know. So for us, we don't need a reason to not condemn anybody. Like I said, we're all trying to be like this brother right here. He's the most inspirational person that I've ever met in my life. And I've met a lot of people in my life. Like this,
Right.
he literally naturally just goes out, buys food, and just leave it out on the basketball court for other kids to walk past. Like, hey, grab that. That's nobody. You don't need to go steal from the store. It's here. Take it. Take it. There's no reason for you to go steal. And that's why we don't condemn others, because we know how hard it can be, how hard it will be. Like even growing up without a parent, I can't call my mom and dad and be like, hey mom, I don't have enough to cover my light bill. I don't have that. But I would hate for my nieces and nephews to say, I don't have anybody to call because I can't cover my light bill. They can call me. Call me anytime. I will be there. Because I know what it felt like to not having somebody there. I'm not gonna be like, oh man, why don't you have no money? You need to get some money. You need to get a job. You need to do this. Why would I do that? You don't gain anything from that, and the other person doesn't gain anything from that.
And that was beautiful for real. Another thing, it's hard to condemn somebody when you know the origin of why they're doing what they're doing, right? I was watching a show or a podcast last week, and somebody said something really, really interesting. Said part of the problem is that social media has took the spoils of our community and gave it maximum exposure. So now we have ignorance raising our kids instead of men, right? And that's what I was kind of hinting towards earlier when I said that there's a separation between the YNs and the OGs. And the reason being is because the OGs can give you that play it through factor where, oh no, I can tell you what's going to happen once you go down that street and around the corner because I was there before. You haven't been there before. And I think that separation is by design because if I'm able to help you avoid those potholes, then systematically they can't set you up anymore.
Right.
Because you have guidance. No,
Right.
I've been set up like that before. And this is what's going to happen. And if you do this, and that, you can avoid that. And so that's why I think even the term YN even came to fruition, was because they're trying to create this divide. If you notice, in rap, it's one of the only genres where somebody can become too old. Why? Because they don't want the younger rappers being schooled. Hey, no, your contract is bogus. Those lyrics right there are going to cause him to go to jail. All these pieces of wisdom that could be given from an OG to a so-called YN is now disconnected because now you're the cool guy and I'm the not cool guy, and you can't affiliate with me at all. You can't affiliate with Uncle Nim and be cool when you go around the corner. So now you're lacking wisdom, and I'm lacking the ability to give it to you.
Wow.
Sure.
Pete, you were going to say something there.
ahead, brother.
Because we got to get ready to close down here. You know, we're going to come back. But the reason why we're here, and we're talking about the 23rd, so do we have time to do another show before? Instead of, because we're running out of time. Okay, we may end up doing a special edition because I don't want to cloud, that event. But there's a special event that's coming up. Mark your calendar for the 23rd. You don't want to miss it. You're going to be able to help support these young brothers. You're going to be able to help support your community. You'll be able to help support Creative Visions. In fact, because of Creative Visions, we're able to be here tonight. So go on our website. Go on our website, cvonline.us. cvonline.us, and there's a little button there, and it's called donate. It's a donate button. Hit that donate. And I told y'all this year I'm 74 years old. So we're asking you to donate $74. We're asking to donate $74 to Creative Visions because that's what keeps us going. And right now we're raising money to be able to match the city with some money so we can keep our program, the VIP program, to keep it going so Tim and them can keep doing their job, because it doesn't stop. The work doesn't stop. And also, I want to tell you that when's your next basketball game?
Right now we have everything on hold, but right now we just training. But I say when we get everything back moving, so that's probably like around wintertime. Like I'll post it and let everybody know on the Instagram.
Post it out. You have a commitment of $200 from me to go to buy some groceries to leave on the basketball court
Cool, say no more.
for your folk.
Appreciate
all right?
it. No,
So
I
let
appreciate
me
it.
know.
Much
all right,
love.
because I want to be able to do that. That's awesome. And brother, when next time you go out and feed the hungry, I don't want you going by yourself. All right, you ain't got to go by yourself. Call Tim. So
And no,
No, don't call me.
call Tim.
what's beautiful though is that we do have a pantry, so
Yeah.
we can help you guys with that.
Yeah, with the pantry,
Yeah.
we want to help you. But when you go out there on the street, seriously, call Tim. I'll call April and Langston and Jamie and them, and they'll be there, brother. And when I drive by,
Come donate some
you know,
pizzas.
no, I'll come help, brother. Seriously, I want to come out with you. You pick a night. You tell me when. Tell me plenty of time.
I got you.
We will come, brother.
Alrighty.
We will come out, man, and have some fun. You do it before sunset, though.
I got you.
I just want to make. I just need to know
You
if.
talking about go to sleep though?
Said, hey, OG Uncle them, right?
Yeah.
Hey, wrap it up, man.
No, whenever all jokes aside, like I said, right now, to be very honest with y'all, I'm laughing to keep from crying.
Yeah.
Because y'all brought tears to my eyes. Y'all have touched something in me that hasn't been touched in a very long time.
Sure.
And seeing y'all have inspired me even to do more. Not tonight, but to do more later. But, because I done worked all day today. And this got to go home. All right? So,
Uncle them, right?
Yeah, Uncle them, yeah. I got dogs to feed, birds to feed. Yeah. All right, I got to do. But no, seriously, those of you listening tonight, and we're going a little over it, and then we're closing out. But those listening, donate to Creative Vision. Creative Vision needs your help. We need to keep our doors open. We need to keep our podcasts going. And listen, you can also sponsor the podcast. You can call in, you can get a hold of April Wells. Get a hold of April Wells. I don't know what number she wants. Last time I gave her a phone number out there, they ain't quit calling from that place I was in. I just wrote it on the bathroom wall, and I said, call April. And they just keep calling her. But I said, they wiped, Tim, they wiped off donate. And they said they just call her now, But anyway, but I just want to say, seriously, on a serious tip, donate to Creative Visions. We need your help. Yeah, we laugh. And I'm serious, y'all just don't know how emotional I am. Because these young brothers, and I get emotional with Langston, our producer, because I watched him deal with his 3 children. And, I don't want to tell all his business. But, I watched that brother. Y'all, I watched this brother go back and fight his way into his children's lives.
No facts.
I don't want to, what is that? I don't want to poke the bear, but I just want to say he fought his way back in. Yeah. I watched him go to court almost 19 times for one child, just to get back in that child's life. I watched him educate his children and watch him bring them to the building, watch him educate them right here. I watched him, and he got patience. He got patience with his children, and I also watched him, he's going to get married soon, So I'm telling y'all there that didn't know, I'm snitching on him. Don't be messing with him, my brother. All right? Don't be messing, because I'm telling. All right? I'm telling. All right? I'm become a YN overnight. Click it. I'm telling y'all, I'm snitching. All right, so anyway, I just want to tell y'all, seriously, I want to tell you, and support my brother, and applaud my brother. When you see my brother, he can really have twins, and you hear he said, I'm going to have twins too. And you see, he said, two, and grin, that's a poster child too. We got to get a poster child thing on that. And Pete over there, see, you young women out there talking about ain't no good men. You know, you talking about ain't no good men. I'm not. Hey, I ain't trying to pip you out, baby, but I'm just saying. Hey, he said ain't no good men. This brother said no. I don't have any children. I came a two-parent. You know, I'm waiting. You know, and good things comes to those who wait.
And he sounds like Barry White.
You know, yeah, it sound like Barry White. And then not only that, did you hear? He quoted the Bible twice. You know,
And he played basketball.
and he played basketball.
What more can you want?
Yeah, what more can you have? And he's handsome. Look at him. You need to trim his beard, but you know, he handsome though, man. He handsome brother, man. Look at that, man. But I'm just saying, look at it. Don't tell me there's no good men in Des Moines. Don't tell me brothers don't stand up. Don't tell me that, because look at these brothers, man. I'm so proud, man. I'll tell you, I'm going home and have a root beer. I may even have some ice cream and have a float. But you know, the key comes down. I'm serious note as we close out. I want to thank y'all for being here.
I appreciate you for having us.
Look for y'all coming back so we can advertise the big thing on the 23rd, because I got to get Chief Tiger on here,
Yup.
you know, at the same time, you know, so we can get him, you know, situated, and I'll let y'all talk trash to him, and he'll talk trash to you.
He gonna talk trash
You
back
know,
too.
yeah, you'll talk trash back. We got a good chief. I like chief. And no, don't be going talking about KO like the police. Yes, I do. Because I don't know who you call somebody breaking your house.
Right.
I don't know who you call if your car get wrecked. I don't know who you call.
You gonna call the wire?
They call him YNs.
Yeah,
Gotta protect the neighborhood.
call the YNs and end up with no car. Listen, because they're on a mission. So, you know, but seriously, all of you, listen. I mean, seriously, we're laughing, but boy, let's love one another. Let's reach out to one another. You know, if somebody come to you to be negative, take that energy and send it somewhere else. If somebody's come to you to be positive, do that. And one of the fun parts I have, if somebody comes, and I'm just using Tim as an example, and they said, you know, I want Tim is this, that. I said, hold up. And I pull out my phone. They said, what you doing? I said, I'm calling Tim, because that's your issue with Tim. You need to talk to Tim. And most of the time, it stops people from coming to you
Yes.
when they know you're going to call the person they're talking about. And that's what you got to be able to do. It's time to change the game, y'all. It's time for us to stand up, because the only one that can solve the problems in our community, in our village, is us. And we got to pull the resources for that to happen. So let's do it right. Again, I thank you, brothers. See you next week. You know, are we taking a break next week? We're going to take a break next week. April says we need to cool off. So, you know, we're going to take a short break next week, because you know, we have some other obligations, but the following week we're going to be on it. Well, we got to be on next week, but not on Monday. We'll be on next week, but not on Monday. So watch the Facebook page for that, because, you know, we got to talk about this project that we're getting ready to do. Y'all would love it. But anyway, I'm just going because I really don't, man. I didn't want to close this one, man. Man, this is awesome, man. All right. Hey, as I say, y'all know the struggle is real. We can and must win. And let's support these brothers this winter during basketball. Let's support the food drive. Donate to Creative Visions. cvonline.us. cvonline.us. Or send it to our building over here, 1343 13th Street, 50314. I guess I should say Des Moines for those who don't know Des Moines, you know, but that's in Des Moines. Send it to us. Send it to us so we can keep our doors open, so we can keep our programs going, so we can keep supporting these young brothers here. And I say young, do you mind if I ask how old you are so we can close?
Yeah, I'm 25.
25.
25. I'm just joking. 45.
You know what, hey Tim, tonight you can be 25.
All right, yeah.
You be
I'm
the way you
I'll
feel.
take that.
These 25 years old. 25, you know, I'm almost 50 years older than y'all. That brother said, damn. So it was fun having Isaac on the show. You won't see him again, but anyway. Yeah.
Just like a black man in the movie. Get off her.
No, but you know, we appreciate that. 25 years old. Our future's in good hands, y'all. Our future's in good hands. I would no longer criticize where we're going. Our future's in good hands, you know. And with Tim, with Isaac, with Pete, with Langston, these brothers are moving. And then we got strong sisters, you know, without a doubt. You know, we got Yvette, we got April, we got all these individuals, we got allies, we got like Maria and others. You know, we're moving. We're moving forward. We're doing what we need to do. All I ask you to do as we close this chapter, don't get hoodwinked and bamboozled. That's old school.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's old school. Don't get hoodwinked and bamboozled. Yeah. Focus. Stay on the issues. Stay on your life. And don't forget, the first person you have to love is yourself. That way you can love each other. You know, and man, I'm excited. Have a good night, Aaron. Peace, love, and much respect. Good night, everybody.
Listen, listen. It is not whether you are Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Republican, or Democrat. It's if you are ready to fight for justice for all, no matter what label you are under. Listen, listen. The question is not whether can you die for me. The question is whether can you live for me. If we understand our differences, our similarities will have substance. Listen, listen. The struggle is real. We can and must win. Listen. We can and must win. Listen, listen. It is not whether you are Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Republican, or Democrat. It's if you are ready to fight for justice for all, no matter what label you are under. Listen, listen. The question is not whether can you die for me. The question is whether can you live for me. If we understand our differences, our similarities will have substance. Listen, listen. The struggle is real. We can and must win. Listen. We can and must win.